education, most of people, they know that is part of, this kind of, or those kind of domains of activities we have in, all over the world, because we have professional domain, we have business domain, and but before reaching business or professional domain, you need to start with educational domain. Yes. You see, so education is a kind of, receiving knowledges or giving knowledges to somebody. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. What is a different form of education we have?
Yeah, before tackling this part, I can say that education has some basic things. First of all, teaching and learning. Because once we enter the education field, we're supposed to teach something if you are a teacher. But if you are, a student, you're supposed to learn something from the teacher. But now talking about the different form of education we have, because we don't just have one, education. We have different types, different kinds of education. Most of the time we talk about school education that everybody knows. Yes. And apart from that, we also talk about, education in the streets, like in the society. We have this also education. And Africans especially, they like home education, because if you're in Africa, you can learn, you can have PhD, you can have your master's degree, you can have your bachelor degree, but if you're not well educated at home, it's a mess, you don't have education. Yes. So this education is very, very important, home education. But nowadays, because of the the civilization, if I can say like this, we have what we call also religious education. Because nowadays, social media, televisions, many things are impacting on human beings. That's why religious people also are fighting, a lot in order to maintain, their religious practices and all. So this kind of education also is very important. It's not only the home education, the school education, but religious education also is very important.
Yes. Tell me, you just talk about home education.
Yeah.
With now the civilization, home education is not going.
Yeah, you're right. I think that you are not the only one, who can get something like that. Everybody knows that because of the modernism, because of the civilization, the developments of countries, especially the Western civilizations. Africans are just trying, especially young people, they're just trying to copy things from Western, yes. Right? Yeah, without domestication. But normally, before copying things, we're supposed to think, to ask ourselves whether this thing gonna be good for us or bad. Really, you see, but nowadays we don't do those kind of things. If I take this example, for example, of social media, yes. Social media, you can see that everybody, I don't want to advertise on any kind of,
yes,
social media.
Like
yeah,
this,
but
yes.
Globally speaking, when you're talking about social media, people are using it, but I don't think that others are very, very glad of the way people are using those kind of, technologies we have nowadays.
Hey, thank you. Can education play an important role in employment domain?
Yeah, job opportunities. Many people often say that you don't need to go to school or university before becoming a great personality. But I can say that nowadays things change a bit. I think that Anglophone system is a little bit different from Francophone system. Yeah. When, for example, they take so much in consideration the fact of knowing how to do the thing, especially the skills, not the certificate or diplomas you have. Especially, I'm talking about Anglophone country. So there we can say that the school education is not very, very, very important, because we have many examples. They don't go to school, but they can do something great. Mm. They build houses, they have everything they want. Okay, but at the same time, we can see that education, school education is also important, because if you want to be, more aware of what's going on worldwide, yes. And also understand correctly, yes. Yeah. And clearly what is happening or what are happening all over the world, I think that you're supposed to have school education, yes. Also.
Yes, can we say that the education also we need to have it as basis before going to
of course. I think in any kind of domain we need to count. Perhaps we need to count, even if we don't need to read necessary, but we need to count.
Yes.
If you, for example, a trader, you are a seller, even if you just sell watches, for example, you just need to count the money that people bring in.
Yes.
But I don't think that if you don't have the basic education, you can do all those things.
No, you can't.
So you suppose at least you have the basic level.
Mr. Denis Wuas, can we today put together study and job?
Yeah, study and jobs, right? Yeah, I think for sure we can make it. We can, bring both together, because nowadays things becomes more and more expensive, right? So if you're studying, I think you need means to cover your school fees or even your document fees and all. So once you're doing or you're making a job, I think it can help you a lot, to cover those kind of things. And before going to school or before studying, surely you need to eat, right?
Yes,
so
you need to eat.
I think that
need to stand.
So yourself, you can make it. You can work and go to school at the same time. I think it's the best way to do it.
This will not have impact on your...
You have to manage your timetable. Then some people, for example, in the day they go to school, please, but in the evening, they work. You see, so they work in the evening. So it depends on the time management, and that's all.
Thank you, Mr. Denis Wuas. Your last word.
Thank once again you, Mr. Green, and the whole TVT and the viewers who are watching this program and who are very, very interested in it. All my colleagues, my collaborators, I greet you all.